So in this video, we will learn how to send equipment request updates to employees. So guys, suppose you have created some kind of online form to take the request for the new equipment from your team members. So whenever your team members require something, they fill up the form and submits it. And you want that whenever your logistics team or backend team work on that requirement and update the status of that requirement, you want to send those new updates to the team members or your employees who has requested, who has made the request. So let me tell you, you can completely automate this process. So the trigger of this automation will be the update of status of this new requirement into a Google Sheet. Suppose you are getting the data from form submission and automatically you are adding that data in Google Sheet. So whenever the status of that new requirement will be updated on a Google Sheet, automatically an email will be sent to the employees who has made the request regarding that update. Isn't it amazing, guys? Now guys, how you can set up this automation? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
Okay, so as you can see, this is the employee requirement form which I have created using JotForm. So I have created this form and shared this form with my team members. So whatever requirement they have, my team members have, employees have, they enter their details and submits the form. And using Pabbly Connect, I have created a simple automation workflow by which whenever an employee fills the details and submits this form, the form submission, the response or the data of this form submission is stored into a Google Sheet in a new row. So as you can see over here. And my logistics team, my backend team have access to this sheet. So whenever a employee has a requirement, they fills the form, they submits it, and their requirements is stored into this Google Sheet. And while a new row is added in this Google Sheet, my logistic team knows that some of our employees need something. They and actually work on this, their requirement, and then when they fulfill their requirement, they change the status of this requirement in the sheet, as you can see over here from the drop down. Like, is there an issue while fulfilling this requirement? Is this requirement is pending or in process, or it is dispatched? So according to this, guys, whenever they select dispatch, whenever the requirement of my employees is dispatched, automatically I want to set up an automation that as the status of this requirement is changed to dispatch, an email should be sent on my employees or team members email address that the things or the equipment that they have required for, they have asked for, is been dispatched and it will be reached to them very soon. So I have created this simple automation workflow using JotForm and Google Sheet, and you will find the link of this video of creating or this automation between JotForm and Google Sheet in the description box below. But in this video, we will see how we can send an email to our employees whenever the status of their equipment requirement changes in this sheet. Now to set up this automation, as we all know, we will be using Pabbly Connect, which is a no-code automation platform. And to access Pabbly Connect, just go to your browser and search for Pabbly, pabbly.com/connect. And after reaching to the landing page of Pabbly Connect, by clicking on sign up free, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. Or if you already have an account, just click on sign in. So I will sign into my own Pabbly Connect account. And after signing in, we will reach to this all apps page of Pabbly. Here we just have to click on access now below Pabbly Connect. And now we can see that we have reached to Pabbly Connect's dashboard. So in this dashboard, just click on create workflow and give this workflow a name. So I would like to name this workflow as Google Sheets to Gmail. So because right now in this workflow, in this video, we are going to take the data from Google Sheets and using Gmail, guys, we will be sending the emails to our employee whenever the status of their requirement, equipment requirement is changed to dispatched. So here in Pabbly Connect, I'll name it as Google Sheets to Gmail. And then just click on create. Now we can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is trigger window, second one is action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with a trigger window. So the idea here is we have created an automation using which we are getting all the requirements from JotForm from our employees and adding those requirements into the Google Sheet. Now we want whenever my backend team, the logistics team who are working on those requirements to fulfill it, whenever they change the status of this requirement in front of it to dispatch or anything like this from the drop down, I want to get the details of those status. And then we will be adding a condition that if the status is dispatched of this requirement, Then only we will send the email to the employees who have asked for it and updating them that their requirement is going to be fulfilled very soon, that the products or the equipment they have requested for are going to reach them very soon. And if the status is changed to something else, like is there an issue or pending, then we won't be sending any of the update to our team members, our employees. And if we are the status of this requirement in this sheet in this particular row is not changed, then also we are not going to do it. So we found that whenever the status of these requirements are changed, we want to get this all of these status details or the requirement details into Pabbly Connect workflow. Now to do so, here in trigger window in choose app, we will search for Google Sheets. Select Google Sheets from here. And after that, from for trigger event in the drop down, select new or updated spreadsheet row. After selecting our trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now using this webhook URL, we will connect our Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect. And how we are going to make this connection? You can refer to the help text given below over here. So guys, first just copy this webhook URL from here, and after copying it, go to the Google Sheet. So this is our sheet. Go to extensions, add-ons, and click on get add-ons. After clicking on get add-ons, we will reach to Google Workspace Marketplace. And here in search app, we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Pabbly, Pabbly Connect Webhooks. And as you can see, Pabbly Connect Webhooks, this add-on is already installed in my Google Sheet. You just have to install this add-on into your own Google Sheets account, and after that, just refresh this Google Sheet once. This is a very important step. And after refreshing our Google Sheet, once again we'll go to extensions, and here now we can see that Pabbly Connect Webhooks, this add-on is now installed. Just hover on it and then just click on this initial setup button. And now we can see that we have a dialog box over here. So in this dialog box, guys, we have to enter the webhook URL which Pabbly Connect gave us. So just copy it from here, go to this Google Sheet and paste it over here. And after that, we have to actually enter the trigger column. So here you must be thinking, what is this trigger column? So trigger column is basically the last data entry column of our Google Sheet. Now guys, here in this sheet in the background in the example, you can see that column G will be my trigger column, because column G is going to be the last data entry column of my sheet. And I also want that whenever a new text, the status of this requirement in the row is updated, I want to get the details of those complete requirement, the data of that complete row in Pabbly Connect. So in column G, we will be changing the status, and on that basis, we want to get the data. That is why column G will be my trigger column, just like G. And then just click on this submit button. So right now we can't click on this send test because the data in column G is not present. So I'll just click on this submit button over here. After submitting it, let's close this. We will go to extensions, Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and you have to click on this send on event button. Just let me show you that by default, this send on event option is not selected, but we have to click it and we have to select the send on event button on. So let me show you just a second. And now you can see that it is selected. So by selecting send on event, we are telling this Google Sheet, we are telling this add-on that whenever the status of this requirement or the status column is updated, instantly, automatically send the data of this complete row to Pabbly Connect. So right now you will see that we in the first row, we have the data of the requirement which we have received from JotForm in this sheet. But the status is not updated. And right here in Pabbly Connect, as of now, we haven't received any data yet. So we have completely made the connection. We have successfully made the connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect, but we haven't received the data over here. But because we have selected send on event, we will see as we update the status, the data will be received in Pabbly Connect. So we have this data, we have this requirement from the employee name as test employee. We have this email address of the employee, their division, their requirement that he is requiring or he's asking for a new keyboard, and the due date. So here in status from the drop down, I will select the status as dispatched. And as I select the status, as I update the status, our trigger column data is updated or added. And instantly we will see the data of this complete row is sent to Pabbly Connect. So here in Pabbly Connect, we will see the data will be received within few seconds. And yes, guys, we can see that as we have updated the status in this Google Sheet, automatically the details of that complete row, this complete requirement is now received in Pabbly Connect workflow. So right now, using this automation till now, we know that when using our post automation workflow, which we have created between JotForm and Google Sheet, whenever one of my employee fills this form with their details and their requirement, the details of their requirement or this form submission response is added in this Google Sheet. And in this Google Sheet, whenever my logistics team update the status of their requirement, for example, like to dispatch, whenever they will update this column, automatically the data of this complete row, this complete requirement of the employee will be received in Pabbly Connect workflow. So in this video's automation, we want that whenever we receive this data and the status of this requirement is dispatched. So here in the drop down, we have several options like pending, issue, dispatch, but we want that only if the status of this requirement is changed to dispatch, then only an email should be sent to our employee regarding their requirement, the things or the equipment they have asked for. Now, to ensure that should send email only if the status is dispatched, we will be using a feature of Pabbly Connect, and that is filter. Now, to add that, we will scroll down and come to this action window. And here in choose app, we will search for filter. Just select filter from here. After selecting filter, it is asking us select label. So from the drop down below, we can see a list of all the responses which we have received from Google Sheets can be seen over here. And out of all of these responses, we will select the response of status. Just select the select status label, and then this filter type should be equals to dispatched. So here in this video, I'm taking the example of filter type as dispatched. But if you want, you can basically take any of your condition. Like if you want to send an email to your employees, if the status is issue or something else you like to add over here, you can use that over here as well. So here guys, as you can see, we have to enter dispatch exactly like we have entered over here in this drop down. So there should not be any kind of spelling issues. And after adding this filter, we will just click on save and send test request. And because the status of this row which we have received over here is dispatched, that is why we can see that the response is showing condition is true. That the filter we have selected is showing the condition is true. This means this data, this automation can continue further to the next step. So we will scroll down and click on this add action step button over here. And in this step, guys, we will see that we will finally be sending an email to our employee who has requested the equipment, that their requested equipment has been dispatched. Now to send the email, we will be sent using Gmail. So here in Pabbly Connect workflow, in choose app, we will search for Gmail. Select Gmail from here. And then in action event from the drop down, select send email. Click on connect and select add new connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our Gmail account with Pabbly Connect, using which we will be sending the email. Just click on this connect with Gmail button, select your Gmail account using which you want to send this email, this confirmation emails, and click on continue. And that is it. We can see that our Gmail account gets connected with Pabbly Connect. Now guys, after making this connection, the first thing it asks us is the recipient email address. That what is the email address of the employee to whom we want to send this update. So from Google Sheet, when the status of the requirement was changed, we have received the complete details of that requirement, which was asked. So we have the name of the employee, their email address, their division, requirement, and all the details which they have entered while making the requirement in the form submission. So from this response, we will be mapping this email address of the employee over here in this field. And guys, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field, and in the drop down below, we can see a list of all the responses which we have received from Google Sheets can be seen over here. And out of all of these responses, select the response of email address and map it, and it will be mapped over here. So whatever email address will be entered in this Google Sheet whose status we are going to change, on that same email address, we will be sending this confirmation email. Then let's ignore the CC and BCC field, and then it is asking us for the sender name, that by what name you want to send the email. For example, I want to send the email by the name of Pabbly. Then next it is asking us email subject. So what is the subject line on the email which we want to send? So I want my subject line to be new equipment dispatched. So this is the subject line of the email. Then it is asking us reply to. So let's ignore this field. It is not a mandatory field. And then it is asking us email content type. So in the drop down below, we can see two different options. Either we can send a plain text email or an HTML formatted email. So right now I want to send a plain text email, so I'll select it. And finally, it asks us for the email content. that what will be the body or the content of the email which we are sending to our employees. So guys, suppose using this email content, we can basically create any email of our choice. For example, I want my email to be hello. And after hello, I wanted to enter the name of the employee. So we have received the name of the employee from Google Sheets. So this is the post name. And after hello, I want to mention the post name of the employee who has made the request or to whom we are sending the email. So after hello, we have mapped the response of the post name. Then I want my email to be. And after that, we will be mapping the equipment which the user has asked for. So from the drop down below, we will just select the response of the requirement and map it. So we are glad that to update you that your request of new keyboard has been dispatched. And it will be delivered to you soon. So this is the kind of message I want to send. Thank you. Okay, so this is the kind of email I want to send to my employees or who have made the request. Hello, and we will be mentioning the name of the employee. We are glad to update you that your request of new keyboard has been dispatched and it will be delivered to you soon. Thank you. So you can basically create any kind of email content, email body of your choice. Then it is asking us for the file name and attachment. So we are not sending any kind of file attachment with this email. So you can ignore these fields and click on save and send test request. Now, when we click on save and send test request, we can see that we have received some response over here. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the email body which we have created over here, this email has been sent with this subject line to this employee of ours. Means basically the employee has requested for some equipment using this form submission, and then when my logistics team have updated the status as dispatched of that requirement, then this email is sent to this employee who made the request. So let's check the email address, the email inbox of this email address. We'll go to a new tab, we will go to Gmail. And yes, now we can see that we have received an email over here. So the name of the sender is Pabbly, the same sender's name which we have entered over here in this Pabbly Connect workflow step. The subject line of this email is new equipment dispatched, and this email says hello tense, means the name of the employee who have made the request. We are glad to update you that your request of new keyboard. So we have the detail of the equipment which the user has asked us or requested has been dispatched and it will be delivered to you soon. Thank you. So this is just a simple plain email which I have created, but basically if you want, you can create a dynamic email as well according to your choice in the step of email content. So in this way, guys, we can see that the automation which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. So we have first created an automation workflow between JotForm and Google Sheet. So using which whenever an employee needs some kind of equipment, they enter their details in this form and make the submission and submits the form. And after that, that form submission data using this automation workflow is added as a new row in our Google Sheet. Then my logistics teams work on those requirements and update the status. And when they update the status to dispatch, automatically using the automation which we have created in this video, this data, this email is sent to the employees who made the request regarding their requirements update. So after setting up this automation, let's try and test this automation once in real time. So what we are going to do, we are going to just open this form which we have created and we are going to make a test requirement. For example, test user is the name of the employee. The email is for example, and the department is for example finance. Requirement is monitor, and the due date is for example, let me enter the due date as 22nd of September. Click on submit. So right now using this form submission as an employee, I have created a requirement, and we will see using our previous automation workflow, this data will be added into a Google Sheet as a new row. So as you can see over here, just now we have made the form submission and this data is added. Now my logistics team gets update of this data, they look on it, they work on it, and after that, they will update the status. Like I'll update the status as dispatched. And as the status of this update or status of this requirement is changed to dispatched, instantly, automatically an email will be sent to the employee's email address. So on this same email address, we will be receiving a new email. Let's wait for a few seconds and we will see the update will be sent to the employee. So using this automation, guys, you can basically completely automate the process of your employees requesting some kind of equipment and your logistics team updating or working on those requests and updating back to the team. So not just these applications, you can basically connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of the same workflow and the video of JotPalm Google Sheet integration as well in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account. Also, Pabbly Connect offers you a forever free plan. And in this plan, you will get free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you need any kind of help or have any queries, you can ask them on forum.pabbly.com and you can check Pabbly Connect's pricing at this link. So if this video was helpful to you, you can like this video, don't forget to share it with others, and to keep getting such content on automation and integration, you can subscribe to Pabbly. Thank you, have a nice day.